Wanted to do a quick video. This here's a 57 Chevy. It is a four-door. These are two-door doors. Two-door post doors, which I actually have two new ones right here. There's a left and a right side door there. This is the old trunk pan. Obviously rusted, and right here at the top you can tell that's where the shock perches go for the rear. Probably one of the worst design flaws of the vehicle. So there's been a cross member welded in, which I'll redo because that was probably done 20 plus years ago. Right there at the back. Spring relocation kit for the back. Oh, sorry about my shadow. Grinded out the notches, proper distance from the back, proper distance from the front. These springs are pretty new. They're 5-leaf springs. I have the inserts. These are for the front mount of the springs, and I have to put those inside the frame rail. The quarter panels I have for it are right here. Chevy wide tubbing for the left hand side, and the right hand side is below it. It's just the mini tub, but they're already built in to the inner quarter panels. I've cut all of this off at most of the weld points. A lot of them you can't see unless you melt the lead out. Done that on both sides. I still need to get this one section out here and up there, because this is a rust point. Obviously, if water gets into it in between the wheel or the window and the outer quarter panel, all this will be taken out. It's being converted to a two-door with the two-door kit, so the full two-door post quarter panels are up there on the roof, both sides. I opted to do the two-door post kit versus using the rear doors and all the original parts, because I wanted it to be perfectly straight, and I wanted it to be as, you know, as authentic of a two-door as you can get. This way I'll be able to use and utilize the mechanisms and whatnot for the rear windows. I can get the cranks, I can get the proper windows, and it'll all fit. All the felt linings that'll go around the outside. Like, I'm just kind of looking at the opposite side. See, that B pillar right there is out of a four-door. So you can see the rear door hinges are still on there, but where it sits right there is in the two-door location, because I was originally going to do the conversion using the old back doors. I have a new trunk floor right here, and with a spare tire delete. It has the shock tower mounting holes right there, but won't be using those because I have the cross member that I will be taking out and re-welding in as I do the frame. The floor, let me see, here is the floor. Is actually in pretty decent shape. I mean, it could have been worse. I've done quite a bit of work to it already. That was a while ago. Right here is right under the seat. There you can see the cross member right here. All new cross members all the way across on all sections will be drilled out and removed and replaced and welded in. But the floor as it sits is not horrible. These sections I can re-weld in a patch after I get the tubs in. You can see these sections. It's kind of just been grinded out to get this back section off, because whoever had this car before my father bought it patched the holes And if any of you guys know these cars, they rust out around the quarter panels, the inner quarter panels up here at the top. And they have these little weep holes. There's a little weep hole in here on the rear deck for water, and there's a little hose, a little tube that runs out right here. But it doesn't always, you know, for as old as these are, the rubber gets old, cracks and crumbles, and then water just sits in there. So they rust out, and he patched them with aluminum and rivets. I get that the aluminum wouldn't corrode, but a horrible idea to do that. So anyways, I've got this stuff to protect the metal. Wiped it all over the metal to keep surface rust spots. And that's the roof, and I haven't touched it in probably a year, and it still has no surface rust on it. The rest of the car, all the panels and everything are being replaced, and even this door. This is a used 2-door post door, and I did the work on it, on the outside skin, probably a year ago. Wiped it down, and there's next to nothing on it. So stuff works pretty good, and you can wipe it down, and it's like some kind of zinc etching. The firewall here, I'm gonna grind all this down and reseal it. A lot of this stuff in here starts to get old and crumble. Like, see right there, you can see the cracks. This is old primer spots. But all across here will all be redone. Dashboard, probably take it out. Not sure if I'll have to. This molding on the outside here comes out to make it, you know, easier to install the window, I guess. That'll all be redone. The headliner will be redone. Has all the wires on there to mount the headliner properly. I left those in when I ripped the old one out. And here's the 2-door post rocker panels. So those will go underneath the front door, or I say front doors. Those will go underneath the doors when there's only 2 doors. And these 2 pieces right here are part of the locking mechanism, because with the 2-door you remove this post because the inner quarter panel and the outer quarter panel already have inserts in them. I don't know if you can kind of see it. You see the 3 holes, mounting plate right there. That's for this guy right here to bolt to, and this will go on the B-pillar also to add strength. So these are the new quarter panels. This one is the right side, and that other one is the left side. Right there's the front side of the quarter panel. For the driver's side, that would be the whole B-pillar. These guys over here are the seat slides. So for the front seat bench, that's to adjust the front to back movement, but I'll also have a split bench seat put in the front because there will no longer be the rear doors, obviously. This currently does run. I haven't disconnected anything in the engine, so I can start it up anytime I want. I did a little makeshift fuel system here. Just did the fuel line to an electric fuel pump. And the fuel pump can just put it into a gas tank. Obviously you don't want that close to the battery. If you're smart about it, it's just fine. Just make sure it's all sealed off. Let me see. I think it's a 650 CFM Edelbrock carburetor. It's a Mallory distributor, 8.5 millimeter wires. And yeah, it's been converted to 12 volt. So a lot of this will be going back in. I'm going to do the body, get it straightened. All the panels are going to be brand new. I got all the fenders for it, the bumpers up in the backyard, in the shed. We're going to paint it. Color I'm not completely sure of yet, but it should be pretty decent car. So it's gonna be a lot of work, but I have a little welder here that I can do most of the work with. It does plenty. It's plenty for this size of a car, this size of metal, and really that's about it. Let me see. There's the old gas tank. I'll probably get a new one, even though this one will work. I just want it to be new. So the new trunk floor will mount, we'll rejoin right up to that. Rear floor pan. This is what I originally started to do with the other rear door. Now this is for the passenger side. Kind of shoddy with the welding, but I was just kind of mocking it up to what you could do. Let me see. So this would technically go right here. And mock it up correctly, and you can tell how that, if you did it the other way, without having the 4-door to 2-door kit, you can see how you could use the original parts. As long as you're measure twice, cut once type of deal, you really don't have a whole lot of room for error. So if you mess up, you ain't gonna have the parts to do it twice. But that's why I chose to do the kit instead, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, that's really about it. The tub kits, what I was gonna say is the tub kit allows you to bring the tire width, sorry about my shadow, allows you to bring the tire width almost right to the inside of the frame. So these ones are already a decent size, and these fit inside the stock quarter panels. These tires fit, but now I'll be able to add another 2 inches probably, just so that I'm not pushing it, give the suspension enough room to travel. So I'll probably do, this axle is just free floating right now because I have the springs off of it so you can move it. So let me see, I got the notches on there cut out. I'm going to put the front end section up in the front. You have to knock off the old perches off of the outside. Make sure you have the proper measurements that come with the kit to weld this to the top. And then you got to make sure that you have enough length to these guys so that you're not butting up against this guy. And there's got to be enough room so that your suspension can travel freely without hitting your frame. And there's a lot of people I've asked, or that have wondered about these guys. You know, I'm gonna go through and make sure these are a little smoother, but when you notch these out, you got to make sure you really fill them in properly so that you maintain the strength of the frame for this back section. This is plenty of strength, you know, to hold the spring, as long as your welds are good, decent enough bite on both sides. You know, you don't have a whole lot of weight back here, you know, that's going to be on there. You just want to make sure that you do put the proper metal inside here, make sure it's welded well, and so that then you don't have to worry about any structural issues. But anyways, this car is going to be a 2-door post, and this is the beginning of it. Thank you for watching.